Old Testament versus New Testament. What are the differences? When studying the Holy Bible, you will come across two main sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Compiled together into one unified whole, the entire Bible is composed of many different books and includes a vast array of literary styles such as short stories, letters, poetry, and historical accounts. In addition to serving as the foundational religious text for Christians, the Bible is an important resource for scholars seeking to gain insight into the history and languages of the time in which it was written. To better understand the two different parts of the Bible, we lay out some of the main differences between the Old Testament and New Testament. No matter how you come to them, the Old and New Testaments offer profound spiritual wisdom and allow us a glimpse at the ways in which people and cultures of the past understood their relationship to God. Today, the Bible is one of the best-selling books in the world and is translated into over 700 different languages. The Old Testament. The Old Testament is the first section of the Bible and documents everything from the creation of life up until the birth of Jesus. The Old Testament consists of 39 different books that document the ancient history of Israel and serve as the moral teachings and basis of the Christian faith. The Hebrew Bible, which is in many ways the foundation of the Old Testament, is traditionally broken down into three different sections: the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim. The first part of the Hebrew Bible consists of the first 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. In the Christian Bible, this section of the Old Testament is commonly referred to as the Torah or Pentateuch, which means law or instruction in Hebrew. But the intended meaning of law in this ancient Hebrew context varies some from our modern English definition. Law in a modern sense refers to a set of rules that a group of people agree to follow. The law as it is expressed in the Old Testament reveals how people of God are meant to live, made up of narrative accounts as well as formalized guidelines for living. The Torah presents God's plan for humanity and His relentless faithfulness to His people. Genesis, the first book of the Old Testament, mainly recounts the creation of life and contains many stories of the early days of the world. Most centrally, Genesis tells the story of the establishment of the people of Israel and their unique relationship with God. The next section of the Old Testament is known as the historical books, recounting a period of time after the Israelites were rescued and led out of Egypt, including the books of Joshua, Judges, and 1 and 2 Kings. This sections of Scripture chronicles Israel's entrance into the promised land of Canaan, the establishment of the kingship, and the eventual split and dissolution of the kingdom.